Hi, my name is Anita, and I volunteer as a teacher to preschool children every Sunday at Gateway Church. Gateway has a large north campus on McNeil Drive with a two-story building dedicated to babies, preschoolers, and elementary students, and a separate building for middle and high school students. I love the check-in station at the McNeil campus because it's designed just like a pirate ship. I volunteer at the South Campus location, which is held at Covington Middle School, and children's classes range from babies to high school students. Kids Quest has Cozy Corner, Bubble Babies, Little Learners, Early Elementary, and Elementary classes, with each class having the capacity to split into 2 or more classes depending on the need for that day. This is Zoe, and it was her first day in Bubble Babies. Each volunteer goes through a security background check and goes through training and are given security tags when they check in. Each parent, child, and visitor must also check in at the front station and are given security tags for drop-off and pickup. At each check-in, the child is assigned a number that will flash on a screen when the parents are needing to be reached by the teacher. Parents must have their security tag to pick up their children or check in with their driver's license at the front desk if they have lost their tag. This is my classroom. Every week I teach the little learners who are 2 and 3 years old, my favorite age. The books and toys are set for the children to be able to access at any time. However, if I have an activity I want them to focus on right away, the shelves are portable and can be turned around if needed. Dividers are set up to create different classroom spaces. The classroom for elementary students is further down the hall, as they tend to be a lot noisier, and the babies are at the opposite end of the building, as sometimes they need just a quiet place to sleep. I usually check in the children and let them have free time when they come into the room. The tables are set with butcher paper for drawing, and I'll usually put out a few toys, blocks, or Duplo Legos and let them get started with the separation process from their parents. This is Miss Josie, and she's one of my fellow teachers and a theater education major from UT. Before she starts activities, sometimes Miss Josie will read the children a story. This class period, she had a room full of 4- and 5-year-old boys. She was reading them one of my favorite books, The Monster at the End of this book. Children who have been coming to my classroom every week know the routine and usually can't wait to get there to play. New children are usually shy and need a lot more attention. The little girl in the pink dress needed me to carry her around quite a bit and a lot of one-on-one time with me to feel more secure and before she would do any activities. During playtime, I may interject parts of the lesson into our activity with a phrase or song. This little girl also has her little brother in our classroom. A lot of times we will put together siblings because they feel more comfortable that way. She's very instrumental in helping us watch over her little brother, and she likes to be assigned tasks as a helper. High school and middle school students have their own class time from 9:45 to 10:45, and then they will come to assist during the 11:30 classes and help clean up. My daughter Dominique is a middle school volunteer, but this day she seems more interested in writing "I love you, Tyler" and hearts on the butcher paper than playing with the kids. I'm not sure what I thought was so funny on this day. If I have a child who has a hard time being separated from their parents, I will usually take this ship, and using the little people, I will act out a scene with funny voices, and have the pirate kidnap Noah's wife from the ark and shoot her out of the cannon. The boys think it's hilarious, and it usually has the kids laughing and forgetting how upset they are being separated from Mommy and Daddy. I don't ever tell the boys and girls which toys they have to play with. They get to decide that for themselves, which is something I learned from my daughter Megan, who loves to play with cars. I also learned not to wear dresses because the boys like me to play Tonka toys on the ground with them, and sometimes they get excited and run the truck on my back or on my leg or crawl between my feet when I am standing. I don't ever tell them they can't do these types of things. After playtime and perhaps a brief introduction to the lesson or game time, I'll take the children to the video room. Here I'm giving them a little rhyme about how their hands need to stay to themselves so they are not poking or pulling at the children next to them, which happens anyway. The little girl on the floor who isn't looking is Alice, and she has lots of separation anxiety this day, but so did her mother. Apparently, the little girl has been waking up several times in the night and is being taken to a sleep specialist by her family. I had a more seasoned teacher explain to me years ago that when there are difficulties in the home, it will usually manifest in the children. Upon meeting her parents, this seems to be the case in Alice's situation. At this time, we have grouped the 2- and 3-year-olds together with the 4- and 5-year-olds. The children will go through their lesson for the day, which will have one main one-sentence theme for them to learn. The children will watch a video of their lesson, which includes children, adults, and animation. There will usually be a story that involves interaction and response. After the lesson, I will reiterate what was learned. Sometimes this is done through play acting or having the children shout out responses. They love to shout. As you can see, Alice still has her attention elsewhere. After the lesson, we will have a movement activity time where we will put on our dance lesson videos. The kids love these and will go home singing the songs and dancing them at home. The parents will often ask me if I can give them copies of the video because the kids love them so much. Unfortunately, they are copyrighted, so I give them the information on where they can be purchased. Sometimes the dances on the video involve people and sometimes they are animated. All of the songs have simple choreography that can be imitated and have lots of stomping and jumping. After 3 songs, I feel as if I had had an aerobic workout, and all of us are usually ready to head back to our classrooms. After our time of singing and dancing, we are back at our classroom and are usually ready for a more quiet time. So at this time, I'll usually read a story that pertains to the lesson we have been learning. If a child feels like they don't want to sit for a story or are too pumped up, we'll let them go with another volunteer for playtime at the carpet or playtime by themselves. They don't ever have to feel that they have to join an activity if they don't want to. This also helps the students who may want quiet time and to listen to the story not be distracted by someone else. During this time, we will also have a snack, usually goldfish, Cheerios, and water, since we are so thirsty. However, if a child wants a snack or water earlier than this time, I have it available for them whenever they ask. Our lesson can take many formats, which might involve something with developing their motor skills, such as cutting, drawing, or working with small objects. When my lesson is finished, the children like to pick out their own books and have me read to them, or they will look at the books on their own and look at the pictures. Will likes to point out the scary and mean faces in one of the books. Every week, teachers are emailed the lesson plans for the entire month, along with the lesson videos and songs. This way, we have the ability to plan our own lesson to the main theme. However, if the lead teacher does not want to be bound to the lesson for that week, sometimes they can change it up completely, or if one of the volunteers has an idea they want to bring in, then they can bring in the teaching supplies for that day. Sometimes lessons may involve taking the students outside and using items in nature, and other times it may be as simple as a story in a book. Either way, we are continually balancing between the comfort of routine and sparking their interest in new things. However, when we try something new, sometimes the children will ask the next week when they are going to do that lesson again. I've been doing this type of volunteer activity for about 14 years, and yes, sometimes I need a break, but I also love my job.